is on. So the critical technology in electric vehicle is the battery. Battery is the one. If I can come with a better battery, then I'll be winning the race. So all the analysts say the one which can come with a car which will run up to 200 miles without need for a recharge, he'll be the winner. You remember we have made a car, Reva is a car produced in India a long time back, but the problem is it's a solid battery and you cannot run 500 miles. In the existing cars do not run 500 miles. So they say that if there is a car where you can run for 200 miles without a recharge, that's going to be a winner. Okay? So now, fortunately, this particular battle involves an Indian researcher like you. Kumar is a Indian researcher from Patna. He is a electrochemical expert. Right? He had a PhD in material science from Rochester Institute of Technology. But then he was very keen to work in this particular battery space, in the material space. So he joined a company which is manufacturing the lithium-ion batteries. It's a promoted by a South Korean. They said, let us try to come with a new technology. And when you try to come with a new technology which has got a commercial angle, you look at the IP space, the intellectual property space. So they dug up the intellectual property, looked at the portfolios, looked at the information that is available. Then they said, there is a space in this particular thing. There is some patents which are not been exploited, which can be taken in by license and which can be subsequently improved upon, made commercial. Right? So there is a technology coming from a Aruni National Laboratory. It's a national laboratory, like a national laboratory doing research. They got a research, they got a patent, and they got a product, they got a cathode. This particular cathode is a combining nickel, manganese and cobalt. I think manganese is the critical part of it. They are able to bring this particular cathode. So this particular composition, they call it NMC, and they say this probably will be better than the existing cathodes. Right? So this company, they licensed in this technology from this laboratory, worked on this particular thing. Okay. In an organization, there is a technical expert who is passionate, capable, committed, and highly renowned. He has got a depth of the knowledge. And there is a startup which is in the space. So it's not a tight ownership relationship because the entire company is depending on the researcher. If the researcher is not there, the company doesn't exist. Right? In these dynamics, Kumar felt, I'll be able to do better. I'll be able to push my idea better if I start my own company rather than depending on another small company. So he started his own company called Envia. Okay. The one which is existing, the state of art is 150 milliamperes hours of specific capacity per gram. You people know that particular thing. The research which they had done is up to 250. It's a 66 component. But as you all know, when a researcher makes a claim, he is doing it at lab scale. So at a lab scale, they have achieved 66% improvement in the carrying capacity of the cathode. This composition is that the manganese, there is many people are not worked because this, what they understand is shattering. It catches fire. It really explodes and it makes it very bulky over the period of time when the lithium gets attracted. So that's why it's not work. So someone has to work more on this particular subject area. Kumar was very confident, and the research organization, they originally signed a license with a South Korean owner firm, but subsequently when Kumar decided to form his own startup, obviously in discussion and consultation with the researcher, they said, okay, we will come with you because you are a better person who are more capable of taking this to the market. So we will license the advanced version and improved version to you. So in full consultation with the research body, he has moved out, and then he has continued the tie-up in a different platform with the same organization. Right? So cathode he has been experimenting along with the research organization. A battery requires a cathode and an anode. Right? So a product, it requires more than one IP generally. It requires more. So this particular body is very strong in the cathode. There is something which they have made, and there is a promise. Anode part of it, he looked at it. He said, there is an anode material available in the open market. It's a material from a Japanese company. It's a silicon carbon anode, which people are not experimenting for a anode purpose, but the material is available. So he has taken the material, he worked upon this particular anode with certain adding the know-how, proprietary part of the know-how, Kumar's own work, and he made a anode. Right? Material is publicly sourced. It's an undifferentiated generic material. You can just buy it in the market. But he made something from out of the publicly sourced material. He made an anode. Now he has got a cathode and he has got an anode. Then next stage comes, how to make the next a battery. I had to make it, and I had to prove the functionality, I had to prove the performance before I go to the market, before I talk to the commercial guys. So like in India, there are many competitions in USA which are government grants. So ARPA is one of the US government competition which is encouraging new energy sources. They invite the researchers to bid for the research grants, and they select a couple of them. So the invitation has brought in this time, when the Kumar participated, this invitation attracted 3,000 plus proposals, and they selected about dozen. So he is among the dozen selected at this particular thing, and he got a 4 million, I suppose, 4 million US dollars grant from this US body to reach a target. The target is that this is what is the commitment. Energy density 400 watt per kilogram battery. This is what is the thing they agreed. Right? And they developed it along with the case. It's a joint proposal by the Kumar startup company and the research organization. And with the grant, he developed it, and it went for a functionality testing. Right? So the functionality testing proved the energy density is improved, something like 350 plus 378 in up to 400 per kilogram. And like all research bodies, there is a testing platform. This was tested by a US Naval Warfare. They tested it 22 times. And this was a very, very big jump from the traditional batteries that are in the market. There's so much energy density is not available at all. Right? So many people are excited. Many people started talking to him. Right? Kumar is a technical man. He is a researcher. Right? He is very comfortable to apply, to talk to the research laboratory, no problem. Applying for a research grant to the government, still is very comfortable because he is talking researcher's language. Now the question of commercialization has to come. So where the GM and other people are coming. He said, like all the people, they said that when you start a company, you need a team. A team, other members should be very complementary to you. So he has got a complementary team. Since he is a researcher, he has got a person who is a management side, who understands money, who understands the commercialization, who understands the revenues, the business part of it. So he has got, fortunately, this man also is a Indian, Kapadia. And he had an indirect contact with this particular Kapadia before starting this particular partnership, because Kapadia's wife was his classmate. Right? So there is some inbuilt, there is some indirect relationship with the Kapadia. So Kapadia is the one who is able to, Kapadia liked this thing, he was very excited, then he started mobilizing the, what is a private capital, which is called angel investment. So he raised the first amount of angel investment in Silicon Valley for him, in addition to the government, US government funds. Then one of the companies that have shown interest is the General Motors. They were very, very excited. So November 2012, GM has given a contract to him. So GM has got two ways of doing it. When you develop a supplier, you give a contract with a milestone payment for the development. and there is a venture arm of GM, which is again having a equity participation like a venture capital. So they participated in both sides, as a General Motor, which is a supplier and buyer of the product, and as a General Motor venture fund, which is investing in a startup in a related area, right? Both sides they invested in this particular thing, and they said they work backwards. A commercial company will work backward. They said in 2016 we want to come with a better car than the competing car, right? And this car should run for 200 miles on a without no need for a recharging, right? 2016. But to introduce a car in 2016, they had to develop what you say a supply chain. A supply chain, quality systems, it takes its own time, right? General Motors is a very large company. When they start a production, when they launch a product, there will be something like a huge supply chain of 1 lakh, 1 million. It's a large supply chain. So with the built-in supply chain in place with standards, qualities, reliability, they announce a product, right? So they said, for me to introduce a car in 2016, you should be ready by 2013. Agree? So October 2013. So that means 1 year time, less than 1 year. 1 year is the time given to this company, saying that this is the time given to you. You develop a product which is giving you, which will run for 200 miles, okay, and you demonstrate. And this time, consumer perspective, they said the reliability is given when this car goes through 1,000 cycles. The earlier one was tested for the results for 22 cycles. They said as a consumer, when you give the warranty, all this particular thing, you have to have it. So GM said it's a 1,000 cycle test. Very clear target, and I say 200 miles without recharge, and it should run for the battery should run for 1,000 cycles. Very clear. Then they said there is a milestone payment. We'll give the milestone payment, and if you are successful, if the product is accepted by us, you'll get a royalty. As long as the car is sold, as long as the battery is sold, you get a royalty. It's a huge opportunity. It has become a newspaper item. It's a headlines. It is a big achievement for a startup company and also for the electric vehicles industry in general, because you are trying to solve one of the critical issues facing the demand, constraining the demand of electric vehicles. Right? So everyone is a win-win, provided you can meet the target in 11 months, less than 1 year. No, they succeeded, but they succeeded in getting the energy density, but not in the 1,000 cycles. The energy density is dropping. Obviously, GM would not take that particular model and put it in the commercial market. Right? So that's where the dead end has come. Now, let us look at the issues involved. Kumar is a researcher. He obviously is moving in the right direction. No one denies it. He is still an expert on the subject, one of the most authoritative person. This is the time, 11 months, 12 months is too short to achieve this type of improvement. Like any researcher will say, give some more time. I will improve on it further. What has achieved is very significant, no doubt about it. This is very, very significant. Right? But I need more time to achieve better results. Right? So GM obviously would not be granting him that particular privilege, because they have got a schedule of launching the car in 2016 with Kumar's battery or without Kumar's battery. Am I right? So a large company will not be banking on a single supplier, a single developer. They will have parallel arrangement. If this fails, there is an alternative. If that fails, there is an alternative. Large company will always bet on several people. Right? So this company has switched the horse from this horse to the other horse, which is naturally will not be informed. They will inform the whom they are betting after some time only. So they probably would not be jeopardizing their commercial interest based on one technical. Right? So what is this? Now let us see. As I said, first he was working after doing the PhD. His first employer was a South Korean firm. and that company had a licensing in relationship with a research organization. Then he moved, started his own. So obviously, what is predictable is that the South Korean company predictably said, "You have taken away the secrets. You are working on this. You are taking away the secrets." As per the analysis, they could not really prove it because this man is a researcher himself. So he was able to do something different than what he was doing earlier. Right? So that's what the analysis says. But that generally happens when you are a researcher working in an organization and you move out of the organization and go to another organization, work in the same line. A researcher cannot change the line as he likes it because his depth is in a particular field. He'll continue to work in the same field for some more time, obviously, or for the entire lifetime they will work on this particular thing. So the trade secret is always a problem. The employer will always hold him saying that no, you are taking away my important classified secret information which you signed not to disclose. So this is one issue. Then, as I said, that particular research organization first licensed a technology to South Korea. Again, when he started his own startup, they also licensed the technology. Now, when you are licensing, how do you license the same technology, Mark 1 to one person, Mark 2 second person, Mark 3 to third person? Researcher would like to have the flexibility. Right? You don't want to be captive to one company lifetime. You would like to have the flexibility to say that this particular outcome, configuration, I would like to license this guy. I'll continue to work because I'll not be keeping quiet. I'll continue to work. A better one, better package, this man. Much better package. How do you really do this particular thing? This company has done it. There is no problem. It is just application. Then know-how. The anode is a publicly sourced generic material, undifferentiated material. He has built over on this particular thing a proprietary technology which we say the know-how. So it's not patented. He probably did not go for a patent. The moment you patent, you are revealing something. Right? So if you are doing something which no one else is doing, and you don't want to reveal to other people what you are doing, then people keep it as a know-why, as a proprietary information, as a secret. So Kumar did not reveal to anyone, including General Motors, what is that he has done over and above the publicly sourced anode material. That's his own proprietary inside the box story. No one really knows. Then he loses. Yes, because unless this man is able to show, he will not be able to show his secret because that means it's not published. So other man will get the advantage. He can have, definitely he will get the advantage. Right? Okay. IP bundling, as I said, there is no product which is coming from out of one research project or from out of one patent. Right? Battery requires a cathode and an anode. Together they make at least one, but cathode itself requires a lot of intellectual property. Right? IP bundling is a common aspect of it. When you are commercializing, you do not commercialize a patent or a research, you commercialize a product. Battery is a product. Cathode is not a product, anode is not a product. IP bundling is an essential part of the commercialization strategy. Winning grants, that is the most common way of developing the product because lab scale model has to be upscale. And at that particular time and fluidity and unknown zone, private commercial guys will not be generally coming. Generally, it is all the governments, India or otherwise. US is the most proactive, obviously. They are the one who would be proactively giving grants, saying that, okay, this is trying to develop something unknown. Getting a grant is important to do something over and above the lab scale work. Getting VC funds, subsequently you have to get a VC because government grants with 4 million is only coming to a certain level. I said he has made a prototype which has been tested. After that, you require a large scale of things, you have to make many iterations, and then you require a lot of what is a burning rate. So till you are ready with a commercial product, you have to go on investing in development, and that comes with the private funds, which is the venture capital fund. When you want a venture capital fund, naturally you have to have a team, and then when you want a team, you need to have a partner, and the partner has to be compatible with you, is complementary to your role. So a scientist, researcher, faculty, general analysis, I will take a businessman as a partner. But businessman model is different. So in this case, this businessman, after GM has dropped this idea, what he has done? He has brought a damages Sandesh Kumar. The Kapadia goes into the court. Kumar has kept hidden. He has made a mess of everything. So he has lost a lot of money. So the court, so Kapadia has gone to the court. The team members, friends, as long as the things work, but not so friendly when things. So again, so he is running a court battle with this particular thing. Commercialization. GM is a commercialization company. They understand the risk of development. They understand the problems and issues involved. They have written off all the grant amount given to the company. And they also give a open offer saying that as and when you are ready, we will really look into the particular thing. And they also give it in writing, will not penalize you for failures. Look at the approach. The first employer says, a small guy says, you are taking away my trade secret. The team member says, you have wasted all my time, effort, you have made a mess of everything, I lost all blah, blah, blah. But the big guys who has got a process in place, who understands everything, he said, these things do happen. I will not penalize you, I will not ask you to refund any money. Continue doing this particular thing. When you are ready to the next milestone, if you are going to hit something, tell me, I will definitely talk about it. See the levels of differences. Okay? So I thought that is the case. So today we will discuss this case and then other things will continue. One of the very hotly discussed case, you can dig up the information. All the information is on the website only. This is still a hot subject area. So it's everything is available in the web pages. And it's interesting because an Indian researcher is in the thick of a battle for a very proprietary technology. Right? You do not have many people who are very active in this particular proprietary technology as a substitute for the traditional. Now, your views, what do you think? What Kumar should have done? Has he got better options, or has he proceeded in a normal way which he should have done and he didn't have any much options? Did he make any mistakes? As a researcher, did you do everything right? And has he made any? Yes, this is a dictator. That's why this is what it is. I got a target. If you give this particular thing, then I'll take it. It's a take or leave. Because their target they cannot reduce. So commercial companies, they always give a finished deadline and say this is the deadline and this is the take it or leave it, because this is contingent of so many other factors. That's what it is. Knowingly has he accepted something, but I think that's the challenge most of the researchers do. They say research is that unless you work, you will not be really knowing it. Whether this will work for 1,000 cycles or 50 cycles or 40 cycles, the stability, all this material part of it. This is also experimentation and learning. So this is a goal, and most of the researchers generally do accept the challenges. They say, well, let us give it a try. Because he is confident. Was he overconfident? We had no idea. But then this is what is the normally expected thing. He did reach the energy density, right? So, but then the cyclic part of it is also known issues. So these things are very difficult to maintain for a longer period. So that's the challenge which all researchers take. So commercialization involves taking a commercial challenge which generally you are not very familiar with. The commercial companies, they are very clear what they wanted because they are in the business. They are in the business of making money and selling the product. So they are very clear cut in their mind. Researchers are not really knowing. There is the technical part of it they know, but the relationship between the technical part of it and the commercial angle is something which researcher would not be obviously knowing about it, right? So Kumar, obviously, in India, no one would have taken the challenge because 1 year is too tight a program. But ESA people say that things work at that particular speed, and he took the bite. What is your view? So Kumar was right in taking the bite and coming to this distance. He got unnecessarily bad name, or he achieved something. No, is it a failure or success? He has achieved something because he has moved the state of art knowledge from this level to that level and trying to cathode and anode combination which were not trusted. So he has achieved something. So what is a very significant technological achievement may not be commercially fruitful. Technically satisfactory, technically successful, commercially not so successful. So the time is unfortunately, time is, who decide the time? Who decide the time? In a business environment, competition decide the time. You cannot decide. GM cannot decide the time frame. If they want to survive, they have to move along the competition. They have intelligence. They know the schedule of the competitor. If the competitor is planning to come something with this 2017, then he has to come something by 2016. So the competitor decides the time frame. The companies cannot decide the time frame. That's what we're saying. When the environment is very hot, this is a problem always happens because the competitors, there's so many competitors, they do so much work. You have to run, and at what speed you run again? Nokia is not slow company. Motorola are not slow company. They are not. They are big companies, but still they are not fast as Samsung or Apple. That's why they run into the problems, right? They are not slow guys. Competition, this put the time frame. So if you survive, you have to meet my time frame. Otherwise, you go home. The competition, cutthroat competition. No. Could you have taken more people? So, is it a technological limitation? Is it a person's limitation? Is it a single man research? As you put better a team, right? Uh, GM, if they are doing in-house R&D on the same subject, they will license in a patent. If they are not doing a in-house R&D on the same subject, they will not do this particular thing. So I think to the best of what the newspaper says that these companies are not working at the battery technology because battery technology is very fluid, dynamic, and research intensive activity. These people are working more on the microprocessor, user interface, safety, convenience, all the particular aspects of the automobile. Mm. This is outsourced, and most of the space is dominated by the startup companies and the Chinese companies. This is what is the space. So, if you are not doing in-house R&D, you will not take anything on license. It's not that they are not doing research. Most is GM totally zero? Obviously, you cannot. No company is totally zero. All the large companies, they have a team. They have some team working on the state of art technology to make a proper assessment. Right? So there will be always the shadow teams which are making a proper assessment. Is it feasible? Is it desirable? What are the technology trends? What are the IP spaces? So they'll not be walking into a trap unknowingly. Right? So it's a deliberate choice by the large companies. So licensing in. Okay. But can I sell only license? Probably is a question of revenues. Because generally when you sell a license, if you get X amount and if you sell a product, you'll be getting several times more because the recurring royalties, there is upscaling, the technology risk is reduced, right? So the chances of making money will improve if you are going nearer to the commercialization phase, right? So license, that's why he has also licensed in something, right? Because he has also licensed in the basic thing from another research organization. But of course, a licensed in is a lab technology, right? A lab is a research project. Like all of you doing research project. End of the research project, you are going to come with the result. The research result is what you are going to sell as a technology license. Right? But this has to be built upon. Several people have to work on particular thing to go to a particular direction. Yes. Right. The insights probably had come from the first level of working in the first job. Insights had come. So the it's insights and it's undocumented. So naturally the question comes as a researcher, what you would be documenting? Right? What is documented is a which will be disputed. If you are documented this particular in a research project, and then you do the same thing and make advantage of it, take benefit out of it, then you are infringing on the trade secret. If you do not document it, if you are not working on this, you only got insights. So it's all here, not on a piece of paper. This probably I think is a research activity which he is the most authoritative person. Uh, again, the stature of the company is important. That's again a start company. There's also a small company, a startup company. So they don't have much of a documentation system. Can you walk away from General Motors and do something which they are doing and come with improved one? Almost impossible, because they'll tie you up in several threads and documents piece of it. But a totally new company, which is again is a aspiring company with no product line. So obviously the documentation would be very sketchy, and then the systems would not be in place. So generally they'll be depending on a single person. So they, in this case, it appears obviously they depend on Kumar, who is an expert on the technology. He said, okay, by taking a license and do something. So the management together, they put their brains on the IP sets only. So who is the one who has got a better candidate which can be built upon? That's where the collective inputs are come. After the collective input, once it's zero in, I think the technical part is all Kumar's only. He is seems to be the authoritative person, most knowledgeable person. So he is able to, and because that's why everyone is sailed with him, and that he is the best person in this particular game. Trade secrets is always, unless there is a documentation proof that you are taking it over, he will not be able to prove it. Also, this case says that there are he was accessing several hundreds of pages, but then hundreds and pages of the particular thing you have to consciously prove. It's not the quantum of documents, it's the question of the document which has been transferred, which has been critically made use, right? And his own learning is his always, it's not part of the thing. As a scientist, as a researcher, his own learning is not appropriated by the employer. Your learning cannot be appropriated by anyone. Your learning is your birthright and it's inherent right, because you'll be working on this for lifetime. Because you have a right to leave the organization. At the same time, it doesn't mean you will stop working on your learning. So your learning is your part of the story. So I think maybe next time when we discuss, we'll look at this and then several other aspects of it and try to understand the implications of the research commercialization. Okay. Thank you.